Meghna Bordhon. I am part of Contact Base. We are a social enterprise. For the last 2 years, we have been working with support from US Consulate General Kolkata towards strengthening the leadership capabilities and participation of primarily women entrepreneurs. And we are very fortunate to have around 250 women-led businesses, women entrepreneurs, women-led startups, first-generation entrepreneurs with us. And they are from the northeastern part of India, primarily from Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Assam. Some of them are also from West Bengal. And we are very happy to have all of them always interacting with us. So we have a platform which is called womenforeconomy.net. What does this platform do? This platform basically tries to connect these women-led startups with the right resources, for example, mentors or domain experts. The women entrepreneurs get to know about a lot of new happenings. For example, any business summit that is happening this month or next month, getting to know about any right resources, about schemes that is important for them to grow their business. So all these kind of information are available on our platform. And to engage these entrepreneurs to continuously give them support, we conduct these online sessions on a regular basis. So we try to connect these entrepreneurs with domain experts or business-led or business mentors every Monday, and we call it Mentoring Mondays. So we have already we had several sessions on branding and product development, on supply chain management, on specific for food entrepreneurs. And today we are very lucky to have an expert who has been working in the handloom and handicraft sector for many years. So today's session is for the women entrepreneurs who are working in the handicraft and handloom sector. So today's session is on creativity and innovation in the handicraft business. And we are very happy and lucky to have Vinita Ganeriwala Gupta with us. So we welcome you, ma'am, to this session. I will give a very brief introduction. Ms. Gupta has been doing her business with regard to handicraft and handloom for more than 23 years. She started her business of manufacturing kantha, embroidered apparel around 23 years back. And she is now the founder director of Earthwear, currently having 4 retail outlets in Kolkata. She has been passionately involved in working with kantha artists and handloom weavers at the grassroots level. She has been making their crafts commercially viable. Her passion for crafts has led her to Shabai, Dhokra, Madur, and many other Bengal crafts. She has plans to diversify this initiative online. She will be talking about innovation and creativity in handicraft and handloom sector today. And we have around 40 women entrepreneurs who are working in this sector, and they are eagerly waiting to listen from Vinita ma'am. And our main objective in today's session is to know from you your experience, what has been your experience as an entrepreneur, primarily female entrepreneur, and how can women entrepreneurs or any entrepreneur in this particular sector innovate and move towards creativity and diversify their products in handicraft and handloom. We have with us Jamil Akhtar, who is a senior colleague of ours. He has been into marketing and sales for more than 28 years, and he is now passionately working in the development sector. He himself has been interacting with several handicraft artists across West Bengal, working with them on market linkage, financial linkages. and he will be the perfect person to moderate this session and go along with Vinita ma'am in this particular session. So we welcome both of you to this session on behalf of Women Empowered, on behalf of Contact Base. So welcome to you. Over to you, Jamilda.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction, Arina.
Thank you so much, Vinita.
Thank you, Arina. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to Vinita. I think you have given the context why we are here, what we do, and we are very happy and privileged to have Vinita today as a domain expert. I think last week we had a similar session for the food entrepreneur that we have in our network. That was very useful. I learned a lot of things. Um, uh, she has been working in this field for more than 2 decades. And not only that, she is very successful. She has launched 4 stores, physical stores. It's not easy for a category like handloom and handicrafts. So we'd like to hear her story, some of the secrets, tips from her, so that the entrepreneur, that those who are part of this network can benefit. I would not take much time. I'll just say a couple of things about this particular category, whatever I have seen in the last 1 year. Handloom and handicrafts have come a long way. In a sense, earlier, if you go back 2 to 3 decades back, it was mainly restricted to a particular segment, very, 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 very small segment of people. Accessibility was challenging. It used to be available only in the government emporium and government stores, where people used to buy handlooms and handicrafts as souvenir also. It was not considered to be part of your life, but things have come a long way. And what are the key things that has happened? I think 3, 4 things. One is the traditional art and traditional talent, has used, and people have used them for diversification in terms of products, which will suit the customers. That's the most important thing that has happened. So as a result, we see a lot of new design, new patterns, new ideas, new innovations. The same old product has transformed into various categories and subcategories. That is one, and which is those most important things. So skill development, product diversifications, innovation has been one of the key things that has happened. And as a result, there are more and more products, more and more offerings from the artists and the artisan communities. Second thing is that a massive awareness has been created, and a lot of people, a lot of stakeholders are there, including some of the governments, some of the NGOs, societies, the boutiques. A lot of people have started taking interest. That is another thing. The third thing is that, because of, uh, change in per capita income, outlooks, globalizations, all those things have changed the consumers' perceptions about this kind of categories. The customer preferences also change. And another important thing which has happened in the last 10 years, which is because of the technology, these artisans has been able to reach at least some part of the market who are available and who are willing to buy online and through e-commerce platforms. So I think these are 4, 5 things that has really been the catalyst. Another thing is that since these products are sustainable, so a lot of people are buying the story of biodegradable, sustainable, etc. But these are some of the good things that has happened. As a result, we see a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people who are actually coming into this field, and they also want to when they want to think of idea what kind of business I can do. Many of them are actually opting out for handlooms and handicrafts, but it's not that easy. There are many challenges, and we want to talk some of that, and we want to hear it from Vinita, that because she has been here for the last 25 years, 23 years, and she started with Katha, now has got 4 stores. I can't imagine someone with handicrafts and handlooms has got 4 stores in Calcutta and doing it successfully. So we'd like to hear from her her journey first, and then I will have some questions which I would like to ask her. So if you can take us through how you started and what was the initial thought process, and how you have actually built this network, created a brand for yourself, created a name for yourself. If you can just take us through your journey, it will be very useful for us to know about you and also ask subsequent questions. So Vinita, over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jamil. So yeah, when it has whatever you have said so far has completely resonated with me. Everything that you've said about the evolution of the handicraft industry, about how things have changed over the years, I completely second that. And in fact, it has been a process. In over 23 years, I have actually faced it from step to step. These gradual changes and these huge changes have actually been felt by me at every step. And it will be very interesting to talk about my journey and share them with all of you here today. Going back as far as 1999, I had just finished my chartered accountancy. I'm actually a chartered accountant by qualification. And I'd finished my chartered accountancy, and I'd got a very good job as a tax consultant. I worked there for a year also in DB Desai and Associates, but suddenly realized that this was not my calling. This was not my passion. This is not where I wanted to be. I wanted to do something more meaningful, something more creative. And so there was a thought in my head that let me do something in this handicraft sector, since I was very, very involved and very, very passionate always about the rustic handcrafted look and about the art and craft of the entire country, of our beautiful, valuable country. I was very, very impressed with Fab India, because Fab India at that time, I was studying in Lady Shriram College in about from 1996 to 1999. And since Fab India was a rage there, and everyone used to always talk about Fab India, and our college was very close to Fab India's N Block Market, the first store. And we used to frequent that very often. And the seeds were already sown without me realizing that I would eventually be doing this for my living and for my entire life. The seeds had already been sown that I also want to develop a brand which really takes handicrafts very, very seriously. So I came back to Calcutta. I quit my job, and I decided that come what may, this is how my journey needs to be. I started a retail store in Calcutta, in where I live, which is in New Alipur. It was on a very, very small scale. Now, this is one thing which I would like to talk about, and this is something which I always would like to encourage my women entrepreneur friends. One little lesson which I have learned is always start small. Of course, our journey, we always want to aspire for big. Of course, and that is how it should be. But we should start small. This is what my experience has been. I started with a really small, tiny store in 2000. And even before I started my Katha handcrafted garments, for 1 year, I set up the store of home accessories, of crafts. I had actually contacted the blue pottery artisans of Jaipur. I had contacted Pondicherry, Auroville, and contacted them for studio pottery, all those incense, the beautiful incense that they are known for, and a lot of Bengal artisans also for their various crafts. And we put together a little tiny store, and it was doing really, really well. But then something happened. After 2 years, the big, huge departmental stores like Pantaloons, West Side, they all invaded our city in about 2002 odd. And people stopped going to these small neighborhood stores because they got the huge sprawling, ambience, and obviously slightly more competitive prices also, because they used to buy in bulk. So our little neighborhood store could not compete with the likes of those huge departmental stores that invaded at that point in time. And so I immediately diversified into manufacturing of handcrafted Kantha garments. So another second lesson that I would like to give and like to just talk about right now is that change is a constant. You have to adapt and innovate according to the changing situations all the time. If you've started something, if you feel that something's not working for some reason, please don't get complacent that ঠিক আছে আজকে হচ্ছে না কালকে হবে, কালকে হচ্ছে না পরশুদিন হবে. If you can see that it's not working for some reason, please try to adapt and innovate. Try to see what you can do to maybe diversify, maybe change your products a little bit while staying in that particular scheme of things. Maybe you can diversify and get into some other related product category and earn money, because at the end of the day we're not just doing this for a hobby, we're also doing this to earn money, right? That's why we are called entrepreneurs. And so that is something that I did. So I started my own manufacturing of kantha garments, and I realized that kantha garments were really working well. I contacted some the product designers and all that of these huge West Side pantaloons people, and I started supplying in bulk to them after setting up a factory of my own. I started working with kantha karigars at the grassroots level of Bengal, trained them. We formed a lot of cluster groups, and slowly, whatever designs we were being given by all these people, we started converting them into bulk manufacturing of kantha garments, thereby giving all these women a lot of livelihood and sustainable livelihood, I would say, over the years. So for about 10 to 12 years, we just expanded and made it from strength to strength, and gave them huge employment and a sustainable livelihood. In about 2012, I realized that apart from this wholesale and manufacturing, I also again wanted to go back to retailing. So I set up my own brand called Earthwear Retail Private Limited. The brand is Earthwear. I set up my company, and we set up stores one after the other. So today, where we are right now, it's just a complete journey of retailing to wholesaling to back to retailing and wholesaling. And today if we have been able to expand to 4 stores, and of course we have hopes of much more in the near future, and of course online diversification also. It is not like we have not been faced with challenges. In fact, COVID was also a huge challenge, where we had to actually keep all our employees and keep all our artisans busy and give them work and make sure that they kept earning and they kept surviving, just like all of us were trying to survive. So that was also a huge challenge for us. But I mean, we kept it together, we kept our nerves together, we kept going. So also the last lesson that I would like to give you people through my journey is that just don't ever give up. There is something like tomorrow, and if today's not working, tomorrow it will work, but you just need to keep going and be consistent. So from then to now, this has been my journey. Having said that, if we talk about particularly about challenges that we have faced along the way, I would love to talk about any individual things that you would like me to discuss. But in a nutshell, this has been my journey.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful to hear you. Couple of lessons that you have shared with us is start small, uh, and be willing to change if things are not working, and don't give up. These are 3 things that you are actually saying. My first question to you would be, today this has become a big category. There is no doubt about it. There are many artisans, and what we are saying is that organized players are actually getting into it. The reason why Tata has launched Taneria, and they are not going to stop at sharis only. They are making a big foray, and similarly there are many others. It will not just Fab India. There will be others will be also coming. But at the same time, there are individual smaller entrepreneurs who are also trying to make business sense out of this particular category. And we are seeing more and more new categories are also coming in terms of, say, for example, a lot of people I see a lot of experiment happening around bamboo as a fabric, hyacinth as a fabric. I was in Nagaland along with Orina for this particular project. We saw banana fabrics they are using. So a lot of new product categories, lot of new fabrics are also getting added. Now, my questions, which will be useful for the entrepreneur, is that where so many people are there, organized players are there, established players like you are there, as a new entrepreneur, when they are, they are also trying to sell shabai or katha or something. how do you make your own differentiation? How do you create your own identity in that particular? Is it related to, is it product led, or is it communication led? How do you create your own identity? Otherwise, everybody will become a copycat. Everybody will become, you make katha, I also make katha. Okay. I also source it from Birbhum, you also source from Birbhum. I mean, how do you do that apart from the price point? I think because each one of them has to find their own stories to tell to the customers. Yes, there will be a lot of similarity. At the end of the day, Katha products is made similarly. But what that will be very, very key things. And then what will happen otherwise, everybody will say, no, I will buy it at 700 rupees. Why you are charging me 1,000 rupees? That will happen. So, and I know it is a very difficult thing and it's a very difficult question, but I wanted to give it to you because I personally want to know that how do you make that differentiations? Because very, very important.
Absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head. And in fact, the answer lies in your question itself, I would say. So you've nicely asked that, how do you create your own story, right? And this is a question which every organized or unorganized player has to answer for himself or herself. Because whether it is an established brand or an unorganized player like small entrepreneurs just starting up, trying to start their own brands or whatever, or maybe not even a brand, but just selling out of their homes to some people in their neighborhood. That's how you start, right? But, whether you're that or you're Fab India or you're Earthware or you're anybody, you have to have your own story. That, I think, is the key word. That is what differentiates you from the second person who's probably doing Kantha. Now, Shorbari Datta also does Kantha. Earthware also does Kantha. There are so many other people. She Kantha also does Kantha. Mallika's Kantha. There's so many people who do Kantha. But their Kantha is different from my Kantha, is different from Fab India's Kantha, is different from Shorbari Datta's Kantha. So how do players create their own identity and their own look? It is, according to me, through two things. One is through product differentiation. Now, I have chosen my category. I have chosen my price points. I have thought to myself that Earthware wants to project itself, and Earthware wants to be for the working woman or for the woman who wants to endorse Earthware for her daily requirements, for her day wear and work wear, for her, like a person who might not be extremely upper class, but a normal middle class person should be able to afford Earthware. This is the price bracket that Earthware wants to be in. So accordingly, we have devised our products, we have designed our products, we have made sure that our products fall in that particular category of pricing so that it differentiates itself from maybe Shorbari Datta's Kantha or She Kantha. She Kantha is for completely high-end consumers. Whose the price points probably start at 10,000 or 7,000, but it's not like that for us. So each and every particular segment that you're working in, you first have to understand who you are catering to, what is the product that you want to make, what is the price point that you want to cater to, and accordingly let your brand story evolve. Also, I would also like to say here that even though there are many, many organized players like, say, Fab India, and maybe Westside also has a home section, which is doing very well, which also has some crafts and all that. But, here, I think we are very lucky that our culture also embraces small-time entrepreneurs who are, and especially Bengal, I think, is very fortunate because there are immensely, we're very grateful that we have a lot of small entrepreneurs doing very, very well in this sector, even though there are big organized players in the market, only because they have that personal touch of selling. They have their own ways of selling. They have their own, projections of how they want to reach out to their customers and with what stories. So I think at the end of the day, your own customer base is what you need to think about. Say, if somebody is starting it in Mizoram, a person from Mizoram will first like to tap Mizoram. A person from Kolkata will first, in New Alipur, will first like to tap New Alipur, then maybe go to Baliganj areas and all of that. So you have to demarcate your own contact sphere and accordingly market your products in such a way that it appeals to the people and to the stories that they want to relate to.
So the point what you are making is that there are different segments of the market. You need to define your market, which market you want to target, and what kind of product that you want to sell, you want to promote, and create your own stories. And there is a space for everyone. It is important. But you'll have to find your sweet spots based on your ability, what kind of product that you can churn out, what kind of price point that you can keep. That is what you are saying, right? Okay. Now, uh, my next questions to you is that, you know uh, initial stage before you started Artware Retail, which I started in 2012. Before that, you used to supply mainly to some of those known players like Westside and others. Okay, and
We
you
still
had
do.
yeah, you still do that. You
Yeah.
still other no. So, what will be your advice? Because most of them, I'll tell you why. Because in my experience, most of the entrepreneurs, those who are into uh, these handlooms and handicrafts, are selling through WhatsApps and Facebook and through their Instagram to an wider audience, and also selling it through their own contacts, their first level contacts, second level contacts. Uh, Now, when they want to scale up, then what will be your advice to them? Is it a physical stores, or is it going to this marketplace? Uh, what will be your advice to them? And and as a follow-up question, I'll be asking you something on the physical store. So if you can give them, what are the various options apart from whatever currently they are doing? Many of them are still dabbling with the idea, is it going to work, or can I take that risk, do I have that kind of money? Those things are also a concern. So at this moment, when they are they are thinking of scaling up, what is your advice to them?
I would say that online is a very, very evolving platform, and something like, getting into marketplaces through, if your product, can pass through the channels of Myntra, LimeRoad, all of these, Nykaa. Of course, these are platforms that give you a much wider reach. And sitting at home and without much of an investment, you can easily, if your products are ready, all you need to do is actually get a good photo shoot done, give them the good pictures, rather upload once you get because we are also on Myntra. So Earthware is also on Myntra. So this is the normal process that, you have to approach them, and after an initial screening and after a couple of screenings, if you pass that, then you have to share your pictures. They give you an ID, and you start uploading your pictures, and you start selling your products through them. But and this gives you it gives you a platform which reaches out to the rest of the country sitting from home. So definitely it is something which is a no investment, or rather very low investment proposition, which you should not miss at all. Physical stores expansion, yes, of course, that can come at a later stage, I would say, because in the beginning, you should not jump to physical stores, because if you do, then it'll just involve a lot of time and attention and cost. And maybe your initial startup will not be able to bear that because of huge competition. So unless you're very, very clear and very sure of your own unique brand story, and the fact that you can sell that particular category of handicraft or handloom product that you have ventured into by creating your own unique niche look, I would not suggest a physical store right away. Maybe that can come in the second stage, maybe a couple of years if you're just a startup. First, try to feel the market that you already have. You're doing the right thing by channelizing it through your own contact sphere and everything. But maybe you can take the next step by having your own website. Just take a URL and have your own website. Give a nice name to your venture, which is also indicative of the products that it is supposed to be representing, and accordingly market yourself through the website. And nowadays, everybody who's looking for anything like this is always online. Your customers are mostly online nowadays. Of course, there are traditional people like you and me who would like to shop in physical stores, and shopping in physical stores has its own boons and own plus points. So that is some always useful for adding to your business, but that should come at a later stage, not initially. Initially, you should start small and you should tap the online market. Once you have gathered ground, then you should open up your own physical store to add to your business.
Yeah. So get a hold on the, on the market, understand the, business, and then once you have understood the business and you have a steady flow of revenue, etc., and a client base, then you can think of physical stores. Because another thing is that physical stores will be, very high fixed cost. Most of them will have to go for rent, etc., and rental cost will be very, very high. I think that's another thing. Plus, staff training, handling customers, those things will be also there.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but in the online things, which most of our entrepreneur will be very keenly listening to, is that, if they want to be part of Mitra or Nika and all those, very popular portal, obviously there is a huge advantage. You get the entire India as your customer, as a prospect customers. But at the same time, there are many people who are actually trying to sell it through them. What kind of, entry barriers are there? Maybe somebody who is trying to sell katha, there may be 30, 40. How to get your ranking higher? What are the challenges there? So that, do you need to pay money to them? Do you get an opportunity to advertise? And I just want to hear it from that, so that people understand that.
See,
Since you are already in Mitra, so what is that secret thing? If you can just tell us, or what is the, process of being there? How do they evaluate their vendors? If I
they have their own criteria for evaluating vendors. That is not known to us actually,
Right.
how the evaluation is carried out. But yes, there are entry barriers, of course. And the first entry barrier, I would say, are, they need GST numbers, they need trade license, they need all of this. So obviously, it's not like for, as soon as you start your business from home, you can just apply into Nika or Myntra or anybody like that. So you have to make sure that it is an organized business. It
Right.
has a proper standing. It has a GST number. You are actually doing it in the most organized way and legally before you approach them. And
Right.
after that, it is really up to them. They probably they ask for a lot of pictures of your products, and they ask for your website details if you have any. They ask for any physical stores details if you have any, and then they evaluate according to whether they would like you to be part of their platform or not. So those are not known to us, the criteria on which they evaluate. But of course, these are some requirements from their end which need to be fulfilled before they start considering you.
Understood. I think it's more like how Google, actually, use their SEO techniques. They must be having their own internal criteria, who is going to appear
Yes.
first or not.
Yeah.
But what I understand from your whatever you have given me, I think for our entrepreneur who are into this business, starts selling, promoting your brand within your neighborhood, within your known contacts. Use digitals, use Facebook, Instagrams to reach out to a little wider audience, and then it will be a good to have a website and sell directly to your customers, promote it through social media, create some level of credentials, some level of awareness of your brand, some level of customer base, and then you apply to Mitras of the world. By that time you'll have your own understanding, you'll be able to answer their query better. They'll also see that there is a website which is running, they are selling their product. So some level
Absolutely.
of credibility will also already will be there. And that
Absolutely. All
that
these,
will actually that will actually help you to appear on the top, or rather in the initial pages of theirs, when somebody searches about your products. I think that will be the path that you should follow. And thereby, you can keep the risk at slightly lower, and you can progress as as you learn from those things. And
absolutely. I would just like to add here, sorry for interrupting. I
Sure.
would say that when I started 20, 25, 23 years ago, there was this online platform was just not there. Everything had to be done physically. We had to go and look for sources physically. We had to try to tap people to come to the physical store and actually buy. So I think today's day and age is so friendly to this kind of buying and selling. I think we are blessed to be in this particular age where everything is so accessible. The customers are accessible, the sources are accessible, but it comes with its own flaws because, everybody is trying to sell the same product because the sources are so available. So for example, if there is katha, if I say just katha, now katha is a craft, but some people don't understand that their katha could be different from my katha. আপনি ও কাঁথা বিক্রি করছেন, কাঁথা তো আমার কাছে আছে, but like my point is there is less awareness of the kind of product that is available. But in broader terms, there's a lot of awareness. Everybody knows about kantha, everybody knows about sabai, everybody knows about dokra, all of that. But what differentiates one from the other? There are people who are not doing very good dokras as well. Their techniques are faulty, but people don't have that much of awareness of those kind of things. Now, a lot of karigars in Katha also, you will see that their tradition, this is a traditional art form, but a lot of people in Birbhum and in the real, pockets of Bengal, they have not really contemporized this craft at all to suit the urban taste. Now, you are trying to sell to the urban clientele. You have to have a certain kind of a color sense. You have to have a certain kind of a design sense. The motives have to be absolutely in consonance with the kind of market you are catering to today. But that kind of awareness is not there. So I think our job as sellers and our job as creators and sellers is that we should try to contemporize these forms, these are traditional art forms, and bring them out in a modern avatar, actually in such a way that it actually suits the urban taste of today. And that's how you can create your own brand story. That's what Earthware has also tried to do over the years, that we project ourselves as a brand who wants to be associated with all traditional crafts of India and would like to bring it forward in a contemporary avatar for the modern Indian woman of today.
Yeah, so thank you. I think you have explained it very nicely. Now, this gives me an opportunity to ask a related question to it. Is that when you are dealing with so many crafts, because, I assume, no one will be selling only one product. Anyone who is dealing with handicrafts and handloom will be having multiple products, maybe from that particular state or maybe from particular regions or some specific areas, but there'll be multiple categories, multiple crafts. Now, you have your own positioning, you have created your own, done your own segmentation, price point, etc. Then how do you ensure the consistency in quality? Because after all, these are not machine made products. The authentic products are all handmade products. Very, very minimum tools are used. So how do you ensure consistency in terms of quality? Is it working with very select one or two artisans, or you pick and choose and buy, and this one is good, this one is good, this suits me? What is it? What is the process that you follow? If you can share with everyone.
So, of course, one of the key ways in which we ensure good brand building is to maintain quality at any cost. That is not negotiable at all. And that is the reason, as you rightly said, we work with few people, only very, very select few people in every particular kind of craft. So we have demarcated that, for this particular craft, I want to work with only, say for Sabai, we work with only Hira Lal Mohta. So there's just one kind of, one person who works in Jhargram. For one kind of Sabai, we only deal with a certain kind of an artisan. So for every single craft, we have made sure that we only work with people who ensure quality. And as far as handloom is concerned, we make sure that till we achieve that level of quality that we are looking for, the products are returned again and again to make sure that the stitches are changed. Hope now over a period of time, the products do not need to be sent back, thankfully. So this is some, I would like to say that this is a feather in our cap. Over the years, we have tried to make sure that the people who create, the artisans, they also cannot get away with shoddy work in the name of handmade. So sometimes a lot of artisans say, Didi, eta to apnake nitei hobe, eta to handmade ache, emon to hobe. So we have to understand at this level that handmade is a beautiful thing, but not to use it as an excuse. We also realize that, what can be accepted and what cannot be accepted. So if it's a bad stitch or a wrong color that he has used, we return it. We say, no, this is not acceptable till you correct it and you get it back again. We will not accept the goods. So we take such strict measures so as to make sure that the brand that we have created is absolutely kept intact. It is kept beautifully maintained, and we do not dilute it by such bad measures like bad quality and bad stitches. Even the hand weavers, we have a group of hand weavers in Murshidabad. If we get a lot of slubs, there are slubs which do occur when the hand weaving happens. So there's a khadi 100% cotton fabric. There'll be a lot of slubs and nips. But then we have to be very, very clear that, over and above a particular number of slubs, we do not allow that particular fabric to come to our factory. So we have certain standards by which we regulate the quality of a hand woven product or a hand stitched product or a craft which comes to our go down. And if it is not found up to the mark, we do not accept the goods and we take strict actions against that. And that is the only way to maintain quality. That does become very challenging, Jamilda. That really does become very challenging because a lot of times these artisans take offense. না আমি তো আর কাজ করব না আপনি তো আমার কাজটা রিটার্ন করছেন then you have to be very very categoric and very explaining to them that this is not allowed, and if you do this, I'm sorry but I cannot accept it. You do it beautifully and I accept it, and they do understand eventually because they do want to work with you.
So interesting. And here I have got a small question to you. That means you become the quality manager, for your farm. You actually ensure the quality, and you actually ensure which is going to pass, which is not going to pass. Now here my question is that when you are dealing with so many products with different categories, you also need to have good understanding of that category. You got good understanding of the customers' preferences, customers liking and disliking, what they are actually looking for. So as an entrepreneur also, you'll have to have knowledge about, how a sabai work should be done. I mean, in terms of your quality, design patterns, similarly for katha or any other crafts. So for the young and budding entrepreneur, what kind of self-learning you suggest? Because, at the end of the day, she has to understand those things. Otherwise, she will have to, depend on somebody else to do the quality check, do the references, etc. What is your suggestion for them? Is it you learn by mistakes, or is there any way you can learn it from others, watching others, seeing others, or spending some time with the artist and understanding their
all
work?
of this, each and everything that you have just said, you learn from your mistakes also, you learn from others also, you learn by spending time with the artists also. And the biggest way to learn in today's age, which I did not have at that point in time, is to learn from the net. Everything is available on the net. If you are dealing in a certain category of products, you just have to type that word out and search, and you'll get the entire information on that particular product. In case you have any doubts or queries about certain things which could be coming to you, you can type that particular thing and try to get more information on that. You can buy books, but the best way to deal with it is to actually go to the artists' workshops, to actually understand the nook and corner of. If you're just dealing with one craft, you can afford to do that. But if you deal with a lot of crafts, then I think the easiest way to do is to actually gain knowledge through books, through workshops, through spending time with artists, if you have the time, and through the internet if you want to get more and more information about what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, I think this is something very critical also in my view. Understanding the product that you are saying, when you are dealing with B2B customers, you need to actually do all the explaining, how things have actually
Absolutely.
worked.
Absolutely. And of course, the best teacher is experience, which
Yeah.
comes with time.
Vinita, here I stop and I open up this for one or two questions if anyone has. So anyone who are listening to this program has got any questions for Vinita, I think she has covered a lot of points in the last 30, 45, 40 minutes. And I personally has got a lot of inputs and lot of doubts that I had, got cleared and clarified. So anyone from Nagaland, anyone from Arunachal has got any questions for Vinita, please ask.
Regina from Nagaland.
Mhm.
She's a fashion designer.
Mhm.
She has sent us a message. I would like to learn about natural fibers from pineapple leaves for clothing textile. It would
Mhm.
be great if I could be connected to anyone doing something on pineapple leaf fiber.
Okay. Okay. It's a technical questions. I
Okay.
don't know whether Binita has got
No,
any
I
idea.
don't
Please,
really.
if you have, because we see a lot of people, a lot of new, as I have told you earlier, a lot of new fibers are actually, getting, explored,
Absolutely. And
explored.
it's so encouraging to see that. It's actually beautiful. Water hyacinth and pineapple, leaves, and all of these are absolutely very encouraging natural fibers that we're using in today's clothing. But I do not have any specific information or knowledge on this particular question, so I would like to refrain from answering. But I would like to get that relevant knowledge and share it with Arena, who can in turn share it with Regina.
That
I
will be
think,
wonderful.
Sure.
yeah.
That will be
Sure,
wonderful. I think
absolutely.
if you can
Absolutely.
connect us with someone who is actually, working in the, in the natural fiber, someone
Mhm.
who is experimenting with natural fibers. If you can connect us, that will be also good. So I think it was a fantastic session. All.
Jamilda, we have another question. Sorry to
Oh,
interrupt.
wonderful. Sorry.
So
Please go ahead.
there is Debopriya
Hmm.
from Kolkata. She has this startup named Hibiscus,
Hmm.
working, and she's doing her business on saris and accessories. Do
Okay.
you think a handicraft business can be profitable?
Oh, yes, of course. And I am a living example of that. So, yes, of course, it can completely be profitable. And right from, maybe month number 3, I would say. So, just a couple of months, 2, 3 months, you just gain your ground. You just understand what you're selling, who you're selling to, create your own brand story, identify the products that you want to work in. And then there you go. Uh, like if let me just do a simple math. If you start with only yourself, what are the costs involved if you start from home? Actually nothing, apart from the sunk cost of just buying that product which you're anyway aiming to sell. So
Hmm.
if you're buying at 50 and say selling at 80, you have to make a profit of 30. You just have to identify the person who wants to buy it at 80. That's it. And that,
Hmm.
I'm giving you time for 3 months. So, I mean, there is no way that a handicraft business cannot be profitable. You just start small and you just identify your base and you keep selling through Facebook, Instagram, or whatever channels you have identified. Sell to your neighborhood, to your own contact sphere, and slowly make it grow. And that is, you will be the best judge about how to grow it to the next level, what steps to take to move to the next step. Just do not compromise on quality and your own brand story. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vinita. Basically, Debopriya has just started her business during pandemic, and she's still experimenting with a lot of things. So we are also trying to support her with the kind of connecting them with the right resources,
Can
because
I
we
just say
really
something
want.
here,
Yeah,
Arena?
sure,
If she
sure.
started it during pandemic and she's still thinking about, like she's probably trying to identify her area or area of expertise or which product she wants to deal in. I think just a little suggestion, Debopriya, I think you should make up your mind. If you're dealing with 15 products, please narrow it down to 5 and just concentrate on those 5, or narrow it down to even 3. But just make sure that you have a huge range in those 3 products or 2 products or 5 products that you're actually wanting to take further. Just do not compromise on just make sure that it is not about quantity. It has to be about quality at the end of the day. People need to get a range in whatever product you're dealing in. Not too many products, maybe, but just a lot of varieties in the products that you're already dealing in. For example, if you say that I want to deal in dokras or I want to deal in sabai grass, make sure that you have so much of sabai that nobody wants to go to the next person for any sabai craft accessory. Just you don't have to deal with 5 kinds of crafts. Just narrow it down to 1 or 2 and keep your focus on that. I'm sure it'll succeed.
Yeah, I think this is a very, very, very insightful thing that you have just told. And what you are basically saying is that pick up 1 or 2, maximum 3 crafts or product category and become the, behave like a leader. That as if,
Yes,
you know
absolutely.
everything, you have the entire range, you understand that category very
Absolutely.
well. Nobody
Absolutely.
understands. Yeah,
It is
that's
not possible to understand 10, 15 crafts, and
right.
you cannot, you'll just end up becoming jack of all trades, master of none. You just have to make sure that you identify what you want to do and just then take the plunge. Maybe then it'll give you better chances of innovating in that particular category also. So you can also suggest to the artisan, after selling for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you'll also be in a position to suggest to the artisan that make this product also. Maybe things that we use in steel and things like that. You can give him some specifications and tell him to experiment that out in sabai. And these are the ways that you will innovate and create new products that people would not have seen in the market, and people will want to come to you because you are known for sabai.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Arina. Any other questions?
No,
Otherwise, I
we
think
don't. No,
I'm
we
done.
don't have any other question. Just I wanted to add something. Very recently, Jamil and I, we went to Mizoram and we met these entrepreneurs who are working in the handloom and handicraft sector. And many of them have studied fashion design. They have studied textile designing, and they have come back to their hometown and trying to do something. So the problem with Mizoram is it is landlocked, and there is very less opportunity, and they are facing a lot of problem with regard to market access. So we were sharing them with different ideas on using social media, using Instagram. They right now are using Instagram. Do you have anything to suggest according to your experience? And since you are also exploring the online.
Exactly what you've just said. They need to explore Facebook, Instagram. All of these are the tools where people are nowadays and people buy. So if they're already doing that, that's just the way that they need to be. And slowly and steadily, they need to improve their access. And I would also love for you to please share their numbers with me. I would also
Yes.
like to see if I can help them in any way, because we also keep requiring the products from Mizoram. So we can definitely get in touch and see if there's any way that we can also collaborate with them.
Yes, I think that would be a great opportunity and way forward, because they are doing excellent work, and their particular designs are very exquisite and very different. So we'll share their contact details with you. And also we
Would
have
be
some
wonderful.
like Regina. Regina herself is doing wonderful. So her clothes are very simple. It's very neutral. So she is, as you were saying, to focus on very few product lines. So
Right.
she's doing the same thing. I'll share her Instagram details and her contact
That would
details
be
with you.
wonderful. That would be
Yeah.
wonderful. Anybody who would like to connect with me, I'm available. Please share my number with them. I would love to connect with all these artisans or designers who are wanting to work with artisans or wanting to get connected.
Thank you so much, Vinita. Jamila, do you have any last
No, no,
uh,
no, no, no. I'm absolutely
points?
thrilled that we had someone in front of us sharing her insights. Someone has started at early when nobody was giving any patta to handicrafts and handlooms. Now it has become big thing, and managing and running 4 physical stores in a city like Calcutta successfully, making money. I think this is really a good story and good inspiring story for our entrepreneurs. So thank you, Vinita, for coming and joining us on this forum. And
Thank you so much for
sharing your,
having me, Jamilda and Orina. It was
It's
a
and
our
we'll be
great
pleasure.
sharing your
pleasure to be
contact,
here.
and we'll give access to your guidance to the network. They'll contact you if they need any help, any assistance, any guidance. Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Okay.
everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.